What's up, guys? Thomas Bepko, Justin DeCrosta. We've got our weekly market update. And what do we got, Josh? We've got a hot market. We've got mortgage applications that dipped a little bit, right? We've got some questions. We've got some things to go over. So let's look at the numbers.
So we like to start off every week with a little article, but a little information about what's going on in the marketplace right now. And one of those articles that we cherry picked for this week is some of the buyers' preferences have been changing amidst the COVID-19 pandemic. So let's take a look real quick at a recent survey by HomeLight Surveys, about 2,000 agents quarterly. And this one is talking about what home buyers are looking for. Not so much those open floor plans anymore, those updated kitchens and bathrooms. It has shifted a little bit. And this recent survey has found out that home offices have now really risen to the top of that must-have list at 17%. Continues on down. We're looking for more dense location home buyers are, and single-family homes, as well as private and spacious outdoor living. So that all plays. Who does that describe? People from the city moving down, right? It's what we've been talking about for months now, and that basically describes the city livers to a T. They also go ahead.
No, I was just saying, coming to Connecticut, what needs and wants, those sounds like musts. I mean, 17% is high. That's kind of high, right? If you think about it, especially, I mean, for people that live in the suburbs, it's kind of normal, right? But coming from the city, you're right. You hit it right on the head. That is the first thing I'm going to look at if I was in my apartment in Manhattan at 600 square feet for the last 4 months.
Right, exactly. So, you want dense location, right? You want
and a yard. I want privacy. I want a place to work. I don't want people down my throat when I'm on my Zoom call with Justin DeCrosta. You know, right, I get it. It makes sense.
And then the top 3 reasons that motivating people to move, they found are, again, more space, desire to buy over rent. You're getting a little bit more for your money here in the suburbs. And going 37% moving to the suburbs. So all of these, this is just a survey, an overall survey, but all these data points are pointing to the city people moving out to the suburbs. Basically describes them to the T. So very interesting here. Every week we're seeing more and more data to back up our thoughts about this, the inclusion of the city slickers moving here to the suburbs. So we're going to start our weekly number recap here. We go to Connecticut shoreline, Madison now to Westport. It used to be Branford Stamford, Madison to Westport now.
Yep.
Pretty stable in New Haven County. We'll go over each one individually, but overall, New Haven County pretty steady. As you go down Fairfield County shoreline, back again, always on fire. It seems like they never slow down, but let's get right to it. Madison, 6 new listings, 21 under deposit, 7 closings, very steady from the previous week. Branford, also a big jump in Branford under contracts, jumped up 41, almost double. So Branford, big week here over the July 18th through the 24th. East Haven, down a little bit, 13 under contracts, down about 10 from the previous week. New Haven, very steady, 24 last week, 20 this week. West Haven, also very steady, 22 last week, 23 this week. Milford, big week last week, 45, came back down to earth at 28. So Milford level.
There you go.
Stratford, 37 last week, this week, 44. Basically, that's the line there, TJ. From Stratford to Madison, very even, very, very even, very steady. Now we're going to go Bridgeport over. That's where we're going to see the big jump. So Bridgeport, 43 under contracts, 55 this week.
Boom.
Big one here. Fairfield, I mean, the flame is just getting hotter and hotter here. 56 last week, very strong. Back up to 77 for this past week.
Boom. That's a big week.
Less availability, too. The week before, 34. This week, 26. So it's getting tighter and tighter and tighter.
Running right in. And again, it proves that if you are going to sell, you're willing to list, it is going to sell very fast. There is no inventory. Look at it. Let's keep going. Look at Norwalk, baby.
Norwalk, last week 49, and this week 73. Sorry, 73. 49 to 73 in Norwalk. Also, they had 33 new listings the previous week.
Yep.
This week, 25. So their listings are coming down too, and the under contracts are going up. So just getting tighter and tighter and tighter. Fairfield,
huge opportunity in Norwalk right now too. Big opportunity. You've got it's a small city, right? You got the suburban living, you got the downtown living. You could also move to the Cranberry District and be out in the woods. So, and it's proximity to New York, and it's cheaper than Stamford. So Norwalk, it's interesting to see, but keep going. Let's go, Gus. This is exciting stuff.
Stanford last week 67, this week 88. Again, Fairfield shoreline issues. The Flames are flying here. Their listing availability about the same, 52 the previous week, 55 this week, so very steady. Westport starts to level off now. A little bit of a different market there in Westport, as we all know. 44 under contracts last week. This week, 46, so very level there. Still very strong numbers. And we'll like to finish off with Weston. Weston, 22 under contracts last week, 21 this week. Listings, though, fell about double. 17 last week.
Way down.
Only 5 this week. The market overall. I mean,
there's more land. There's less houses in Weston too. The more you go inland, the more property you're going to get, the less house you're going to get, right? So it's going to be interesting to see. Look, so let's just touch on the mortgage real quick, right? So mortgage purchase mortgage applications have fallen for the second straight week. Now, rates have increased the first time since May. They're hovering right at 3%. They were 2.99 and they were at 3%, right? So a 0.01 increase. First time since May. Now, is the demand kind of slowing down from the pent-up energy during COVID right now? Are we starting to see a slow pace? It'd be interesting to see next week if mortgage applications go up, because we're coming into August, right? We're at the end of July here. We're coming into August. I mean, I'm thinking we're going to crank right to the Indian summer. I think we might see a slight decline. I mean, we're not going to dip. We're still in a huge recovery. We're way above where we were last year, right? And houses are moving.
You know, I'm also curious, TJ. Clearly, we see like a little bit of decline traditionally as August goes on, because school's going to start. Families want to be settled clear before the school year is. Now,
people take their vacations in August too.
Right. That's also
people take their summer vacation.
Clearly, I mean, no dispute about that. Vacations are going to be way down this year, if not, very, very low. Right. Second thing is, kids are going to be doing online class, at least starting off online, even for the older kids. Right. So be curious to see now if people are more willing, the family situation, to move around later into the fall. Because the availability to move around, it still continues school from home. Be interesting to see.
Well, it's going to be interesting what happens to mortgage rates election time, right? Yeah. So we have an election coming up. It's the last election. We had my 5th market shift, right? And the mortgages increased the most they've ever done in history, right, since they were recording. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with a lot going on. Now we got election year. Yesterday, there was a big Pfizer thing, right? There's 100 million vaccines that we bought, that the U.S. government bought. So, I mean, who knows what the hell is going to happen.
So many things going on.
Interesting. It's gonna be a roller coaster, I'm thinking, but it's fun, man. V-shaped recovery, baby. Rates are low. People need to borrow. People want to sell, they borrow money cheap. It's pretty simple.
Join us next week, guys. We'll give you another great article showing what's going on in the real estate market. As always, if there's a town or city that we missed, please throw it in the comments. We'd be happy to cover it the following week.
Talk to you next week, guys. Boom.